Hi, I'm Skye McAlpine and this is my home tour. Starting in the heart of our home, which is the kitchen, which is where I spend the most of my time, working, cooking for family, eating with a family. It's where my sons do their homework, and it's where I importantly have friends over for supper as well. So it's like probably my most favourite room in the house. We moved into this house about almost 3 years ago now. One thing that was really important to me was to have a space that was super flexible. So one thing we did was we got this kitchen island, which is basically it's like a wooden bench, and then we put it on wheels, and then we changed the surface. We put this kind of marble top on it to match the marble that we put in the rest of the kitchen. And what's great about it being on wheels for me is I can kind of wheel it close to the window if I need light, if I'm kind of using it for photography. But also what we can do in the space is like for my birthday or for parties or whatever, we wheel the kitchen island out into our back patio. So we've got this extra shelf that we added underneath for storage, because we just kind of try and have as much storage as possible. All our storage is kind of quite open, and what I've been trying to do over the years, and it's very much work in progress, is slowly build a collection of pots and pans that I really love and think of as beautiful objects as well as super useful. So there are these ones that I love from this company. It's an Italian company called Ruffoni. Other favourite things in the kitchen is I love our cooker, which is a La Cage cooker, and it is massive. My husband and I went for a weekend trip to Brussels, where kind of amazing antique shops and flea markets, and you can find some real bargains as well as some kind of really beautiful stuff. One of the things that we got loads of were all the light fittings. So we've got these lovely lights that I really love and kind of just find really sunny and happy and bring me a lot of joy. And then we bought lots of glass chandeliers that we sort of have through the house. I grew up in Venice, so I love Murano glass, and always it feels like a bit of home. For the kitchen, so we painted it yellow, so it's just the happiest colour and brings me so much joy. And even on kind of quite dark and dreary days, it feels really sunny and happy. Inside of all the drawers is pink, and just the inside of these shelves here is pink as well. These are my copper moulds, which are my prized possessions. I collect them. I kind of love that they're decoration on the walls by day, and then I use them regularly kind of by night. And then if I come around to this side of the kitchen, this chair I love is basically very much the heart of the kitchen. I kind of love that it's this just almost Hessian fabric that's really worn and a bit kind of grotty and just feels used and loved already. And then I've just got some cushions on it. So in my spare time, I started during lockdown, I do tapestry, and this is the first cushion that I tapestried. This way of storing stuff in open jars, I kind of love. I don't label things unless I have to, because I always think it looks a bit messy, and over the years we've built up a collection of all sorts of shapes and sizes of jars. So this is the dining room part of our kitchen dining area, and the centre of it is this big table. It's an old antique piece that we found online. I just loved it, and I love the size because it's lovely and big, and at a push you can kind of squeeze 12 people around it, which is kind of my dream. But I mean, for the rest, the space is kind of really quite neutral. It's really all about the table. But our other big thing is this dresser. Top bit is all the plates and jugs and glasses and coffee cups and teacups, and everything is kind of all shoved in there. And again, these objects that I love and that I collect, all my plates and so forth, almost become decoration for the room, so I kind of love that. The thing that I love that we did is there's this Antoinette Poisson wallpaper, which is this sort of cherry design, which you can see here, which I was absolutely obsessed with and really wanted to find a way to use in the house. And so this felt kind of the perfect space for it. And then this is our curtains, because we're right on the road and this is the ground floor. It's nice to have this blind, this yellow blind, so if we want privacy at any point, we can kind of pull it down and no one can see in. Even if you close the blind, the light comes through that yellow, and it makes the whole room feel really warm and sun-kissed. And then the curtains are the sort of fixed stripe, kind of ticking. And then we put in this ledge where my husband keeps a lot of his plants, or can just prop things on, or you can also even just kind of sit here and when we're having drinks maybe before dinner and watch as people are arriving and so forth, so that's good as well. So this is our hallway. So what we wanted to do was create like a little bit of a sense of an entrance to distinguish from the kitchen area. I love this wallpaper. So it was hand painted for us by this guy called Alistair Peebles. And actually, I love that if you look at it really closely, although it's a repetitive design, you can see there are like tiny differences. No two sections are exactly the same. And then we just wanted a little table, like something quite small, just to be able to like plonk clutter on. And then I've just got like a few pictures that I haven't got around to hanging up. And then I love this lamp. We got it in Brussels, and then just changed the lampshade, and this is a Rosie de Ruig lampshade, and I love this pattern. She's incredibly talented. So this is our living room. So this room is pink, as you can see. I love this shade, it's like a really pale pink. And it's basically just like a cozy room. Got a big smushy sofa. The fabric is Jean Monroe, and these cushions I kind of bought, I love. They're from Host Home, and I kind of like how they tie the sofa in with the curtains. Then we've got this green velvet ottoman here that we kind of use as a coffee table. And then this is our fireplace. So we put the fireplaces into the house when we moved in. And the mantelpiece or fireplace itself we bought in Brussels. And these candlesticks I just thought were really cute. They're Tolly, which is kind of in the same style as the lemon lamps that we've got downstairs in the kitchen, and they're also by Host Home. And then this mirror we brought over from our old flat, and I bought it on eBay. So this little table is another little antique find that we got in Brussels. I love it. It's got this tiny little drawer, like secret drawer for hiding things in. And then here I've got like a stack of mattress boxes that you might have spotted, kind of quite like the different marble prints all stacked up together. Over here we've got two armchairs. We found these in Brussels and I just absolutely loved them. And I just kind of love this I guess sort of tapestry type fabric, but I love that it's like worn and slightly falling to pieces. This is another tapestry cushion that I did during I think the second lockdown, and this is one that my mother, who's super into tapestry, that she made for me. Over here is a kind of like drinks corner. So this is like one of my absolute favourite things in the room, and it's a 1950s small fridge from Fornasetti. You kind of use it as a bar trolley. So in here I've got kind of like ice bucket and like little bits of drinks, and then we had it restored so you can kind of keep your prosecco or your whatever really cold. This is a present from my parents-in-law. They gave it to my husband and I as a wedding present, and it's a very old sketch of Madonna and child, so I kind of love it in here because it's just very peaceful and kind of looking over us and wishing us well. And then over here is our piano. It's really my husband's piano because he's the one who plays, and he loves it and plays lots. And then this is a picture kind of painted on fabric that we bought in the antiques market in Brussels. I just sort of loved the colours in this, and it just felt really like peaceful. So this is my study. We decided to go for this like really rich, like dark kind of like lipstick red. And it's a gloss, so it makes the room feel super cozy, and I kind of love that it really clashes with the soft pale pink. So you can see like basically two walls of books. These shelves were basically one of the only things that we left from the original house when we bought it. They're loosely organised. On this side I've got all my cookbooks, which I've tried to arrange by colour. I have so many cookbooks, and I often won't remember the exact title, or I won't remember necessarily who it's by, but I have quite a visual memory, and I'll almost always remember what the cover looks like. So it makes it really easy for me to search And then on this side, I studied classics at university. These books with the green spine is the complete collection of ancient Greek works, and it's side by side, so you've got the ancient Greek text and the English translation next to it, and then the red ones are the same but for all the Latin. And then when I do like a party or something like that and I do a menu for it, I always love to keep the menus because it's such a lovely like memento of the event. This ottoman, we actually had it made to go in our bathroom upstairs, and then I moved it down here because I wanted to make more space in the bathroom so I could have a little space to roll out my yoga mat. It's quite nice. It makes it, to me, it makes it feel a little bit like a library. The rug is from India and actually is an old one that my mother had, but I just loved the colours in this room so much. Okay, so this is our bedroom. So this floor originally was 2 smaller bedrooms and 2 very small bathrooms, and we kind of knocked through everything, and it's basically now one quite small bedroom, quite cosy, and then we've got a kind of larger shower area and then bathroom through there, so we kind of made it all our own floor. So I love this room because it feels so cosy, and I wanted to do like a wrought iron bed, but my dream had always been to have a 4-poster bed. So actually what we did is we bought a Victorian 4-poster bed, and then we had it customised. So we added these poles to go all the way up to make it 4-poster. These scallop sheets are Sophie Conran in this kind of coral colour, which I absolutely love. And then this sort of eiderdown that I kind of use as a bedspread is one of my most favourite things, and it's by Preen Home. At some point they did an archive sale, and I was instantly online and snapped it up for a bargain price, so I was really happy. It's one of my favourite things. And then the room is quite small, there's not much going on except for the wallpaper. It's not actually paper, it's fabric. So basically bought this roll of JPG Baker fabric that was a discontinued fabric, and then we were like, let's do it on the walls. And actually it's kind of amazing how it really changes the feel of the room when they attach the fabric to the walls, is to finish it off with that sort of like gross grain trim around the top. And then these bedside tables I really love just because they're like so simple, and we got them from an antiques market. And then these lamps were a present from my godmother, and I actually went to stay in her house in Cornwall, and she had them in the guest bedroom, and I was completely obsessed with them, and then she very sweetly gave them to us as a housewarming present, and they're by Moschino. And then in this little corner, because not much room, so it was a very small little armchair, which I got in Brussels, and I love the sort of lattice. And then over here is basically like chinoiserie antique bureau or desk that we got from an antique dealer called Brown Rig. This I bought at Liberty's actually, and I think it was from a curated edit that from memory that Matilda Go did a few years ago. And I love the lamp. It's a vintage Tolly lamp with the flowers, a kind of a recurring theme. And then I added this lampshade, which I absolutely love. It's Francis Costello. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed my home tour. Thank you so much for following along.